Mm-mm. All right, we are now live. It is that time of evening. It is that time of night. It is that time of day. It's that time of year. We are approaching or sitting in the last rocket chat of our love session series. I'm very grateful to have experienced this whole series with everyone who's watched. It's been interesting, eye opening, exciting. I've gotten to know some new people and gotten to know some old people even better. I, I guess that's strange to say old people, but you know what I mean? Like people I've already known. So I'm just excited about tonight. We have some very special guests, and we're going to get into some very special topics. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has been watching, keeping up with the series, participating in the chat, getting involved in the conversation, rewatching the episodes or sessions afterwards. It's all been very exciting. About to bring on our first guest. Let's see. I am now live with Ian Haddock.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. You look good.
Thank you. You too. Where are you?
I'm in my place.
Oh, look at you. It looks all cool in there. I'm like, it looks like you in the studio or something.
No, I did it just for you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'm flattered.
What you
I wish I
sipping
could
on?
say this is a cab sauv.
Oh, okay.
I like a really rich red wine. Like, yeah, I just really enjoy a very sultry wine. I like to think in my mind that I'm very sultry as a person, but I'm too like yapperific to be mysterious. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I leave it to the wine to be bold when I can't be. You know what I
I love it. I love it. I
mean?
love it.
So I'm excited. What are you drinking?
Tequila straight, because that's what I do.
Ah, like all the time?
Yeah, yeah, that's how
Okay.
I stay hydrated.
That's a beautiful sentiment. I don't know if that's science, but
It's not.
but I do love that that's what you believe, and I believe it for you.
I love to see it.
Mm. Well, I before our other guests join us, I want to talk to you about some very exciting news that you have going on. Some I saw today you posted in this new beautiful venue that you're about to
Yeah.
do a new and beautiful thing. You wanna tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So you've been a part of almost every year Black Queer AF Music Festival. This year we have renamed it Black Like That. And it's happening during Pride Month on June 27th. So it's going to be dope art, music, vibes, DJs, vendors, all the things. So if you are interested in coming to Houston, it's a wonderful reason to come to Houston in
Definitely.
June.
I remember the first year. I want to say it was the first year because yeah, I've been a part of everyone except for the first one, right?
Yep.
So yeah, the first year I remember being in Houston randomly for a friend's birthday. We all decided to just go to Houston, and we were like at the Airbnb, like, "What are we doing today?" And I was just scrolling through Instagram, and I was like, "Let's do this." And we all went. And I remember being in the room and being so moved by what was happening, and I was like, "I don't know how, I don't know in what way, but I want to be a part of this." And I just remember sending the email, which I feel like the email said exactly that. Like,
Yes.
I don't
Yes.
know what to do, but I want to be involved. You know what I mean? And
And
it's
that's, I
just
mean, that's
been,
all it takes. I mean, I
yeah,
think that that's what community, I know we'll be talking about that tonight, but yeah, like, absolutely. I think that's what community looks like.
just like showing up, getting
Hmm.
there however you can.
Yep. 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 Yep.
All
Yep.
right. So a toast to Black like that.
Yeah. And I'm so ghetto. I should have had my red cup, but
I'm
here I am, not even being classy tonight.
about to say you're at home. You should be comfortable. So I want
Yeah.
to. I don't want to like get too deep before the guest for the other guest get here, but okay, hold on. I think we have another arrival.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And thank y'all for participating in the chat. Yes, raise your glasses. We got a lot of great stuff we're going to be covering today. I'm so excited. It's my girl, Brianne. Welcome to the chat.
Hey y'all. Hey.
Hey.
Look at me.
Yes, just now getting started. I love this hat. Where did you get this from?
Oh, y'all, don't cancel me. This from Shein.
Oh, okay.
Oh, see, I should have told you my business. I should have said
Oh,
I got it from the market.
right, I just found it. This whole
I
thing.
made this.
I was on a call yesterday, and this lady was like, "Oh, I love your hat." I was like, "Oh, you like my wig?"
Period.
So we
Yes.
were completely off. She didn't know what to say. I was like, "Yeah, that's the end of those questions. You don't need to know nothing else. You don't like my wig? Okay."
Period.
Welcome, Brianne. We're so happy to have you here tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and thinking of
Yeah,
me and stuff. I appreciate it so much. I'm happy to be here with y'all.
thank you. We're about to be joined by our final guest,
Hey.
Mr. Darryl
Yeah, what's going
Dwayne. Welcome
on?
to the
Apologies.
chat.
What's going on, family?
Yeah,
Hey.
I just
How
want to
y'all
say our
feeling?
head game is up tonight.
Hmm.
everybody's wig is on point. I
Okay.
love it.
Yes.
And I have to say also, like everybody's face looks so cool. Like Brianne, I love this green. That's one of my favorite colors on your wall. And then Daryl, like this is that Miles Davis behind you?
Oh, the photo. So that's actually one of my portraits that I took of. Well, I do photography on the side. I'm an artist as well.
Come on
Portrait
now.
of a R&B singer. Based used to be based out of Brooklyn. I believe she's in Florida now.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah, that's who that is. And then of course, we repping for Beyonce. The little disco ball behind me.
love it, love it, love it. Don't
Yes.
don't tell her that I said that was Miles Davis. It's just very shadowy in
Yeah,
the
yeah. It's
edit.
probably
So
the way
that's
the light
why
hit.
I guessed that. But yeah, don't tell her I said that. Um, Well, first, I want to welcome you all. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for being here with me. I am perpetually a fan of you all. You all are people I love to share space with. I've had the opportunity to work with all of you, and I just am excited to be able to be a part of the continued legacy that you guys are creating in your own rights. We have somebody representing all the different spaces and coasts. Ian is from Houston, Texas.
Hey, come
Now,
on.
you born and raised in Houston? You from Houston originally?
So yes and no. I'm from a small town called Texas City, Texas. Nothing worse
Oh.
than Texas City, right?
Mhm.
But Texas City is like 45 minutes south of Houston. So I've been in
Okay,
Houston most of my life. Moved
right.
around a little bit, but Houston is home for sure.
Okay, and Brianne from Baltimore.
I'm
Are
not
you
from
originally?
Baltimore, bitch.
You not originally from Baltimore?
No, she is from
What?
North. She is from North Philly. Okay.
I knew that. I knew
You
that.
did.
I did know that. North Philly gal.
Yes. But yeah,
And
from
then,
Baltimore down.
and so, how long have you been in Baltimore?
I've been in Baltimore since 2009. So at this point, I've been in Baltimore longer in my adult life than I've been in Philly,
Right.
in my childhood. So it's giving
And
second home.
Baltimore is not one of like New York is one of those cities where you have to like be there a certain amount of time to be from there, or
Right.
you gotta like pass some kind of test. You gotta like get hit by a cab or something like that. You know what I mean? To be like you're a New Yorker now. But Baltimore's not like that. Baltimore, you can really spend 2 weeks there and be like, well, I'm from Baltimore. You know what I'm
At
saying?
this
And the
point.
people will embrace you.
Okay. I live for Baltimore. Don't play about it like
Okay,
at
and never
all.
will,
And wouldn't.
never will. And Daryl, you are from Newark, New Jersey,
I am currently, yes, repping Newark, New Jersey. Been here for
but
about 40.
originally from Virginia, right?
Originally from VA, so I was gonna say, while I'm repping Newark, 'cause I always say Norfolk to Newark. Cities are similar in a lot of ways. However, originally from Norfolk, Virginia, 757. Big shout out to all my VA folks that may be watching. And then Newark has become home. Like it's a art. This city is so embracing of the artist community. For me, I don't know why I didn't make the move sooner. Even though
Mm.
Virginia also, I mean, we got some great artists from VA. I mean, for real, Timbaland, Missy. I mean, especially from the 757 specifically, those artists come from my neck of the woods. But Newark is this and it's an awesome city. If you don't
Newark
know,
is very
um,
cute. It's definitely it surpassed my expectations every time I've been there. I'll say
yeah,
that.
Mhm.
So
people
we're gonna
sleep
get
on.
yeah. I mean, I think people sleep on Jersey because Jersey is like New York's little cousin to a lot of people. You know what I'm
I
saying? So they
would,
don't like no one's ever looking or saying overtly that Jersey is like the destination. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
But it's got some definitely some sleeper hits in New Jersey, and Newark is definitely one of them.
Mhm.
So I want to get into the first and very big question of the night. I'm going to ask everyone for their personal definition of what community means. Maybe I should put on my journalist glasses because that was a big question.
That was we kicking
Yeah.
out the gate with the hard heavy hitters.
Okay.
Right from the gate, the gate. But
What does community mean?
I want to ask that because I believe one that like I don't know necessarily that I think there is one definition.
Mhm.
I think that is defined by the people who make up the community. So I'm always interested to hear everyone's individual definition of like what is community to you.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
I'm really
feel.
over here sitting.
No, you go.
No, 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 no. It's tough.
It
It's
really,
tough.
it
I
really.
think I think that community is like made up of people who choose you and you choose consistently and intentionally. I think
Mm,
that that is like the very vague definition. It's the people that decide that no matter the things, good, bad, or indifferent, I am choosing you. And I think, in my work, it's really important because a lot of the people that I choose and that choose me are people that were not chosen, right? And
Mhm.
mm,
so oftentimes that creates a subculture and a nuance in community that says, like, not only am I choosing you and you're choosing me, but I'm also having to learn the tools to choose, right? Like I have
mm.
to learn how to choose you. And so I think community is like the people that you choose and that choose you intentionally.
Mhm. Yeah, you ate that, friend.
I'm saying I feel like that's like a mic drop, right? Like after that, like
Yeah, you definitely ate that. The thing that comes to mind for me is like it's like this abstract space, but it's also like automatically the word villager came into my mind because
Mm,
I'm just always thinking about like personally as I'm cultivating community, like how am I showing up as a villager in that space? Because I
mhm.
think that some people, I think community can be a buzzword, right? And I feel
Yeah.
like people like, oh, I want community, or like I build community, or and I think there's this sense of entitlement when there is so much personal work that you have to do first and foremost,
Mm-hmm.
um, to even to step into, a village or to create a village, and so that like you're required to be someone who is going to pour in before having an expectation of
Getting something back.
receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what comes up for me. I know that's not like a solid definition, but
No, it's beautiful. I love that.
I rock with it too. So after these two amazing explanations of community, y'all left it pretty hard for me to follow up. But I'll lead with a artist visual because I'm an artist first, and I work in an art space. So I would probably say the best way when I think of community, I think of the places we live, the places we go as sort of the fabric, and we are the thread, right?
Mm,
And
Mm.
the idea of community, the idea of that item or that fabrication of that thing being durable is only as strong as the threads that tie it together. So that's
Mm.
kind of how I see community. We all have a role to play. People think something you all mentioned earlier that you think that your role doesn't matter, or you haven't done the self work to recognize where you matter in that space. I think that's what makes community beautiful. You don't have to know exactly where you fit in to jump in. You just jump in, and then you sort of
Mm-hmm.
find your way. Because again, that fabric is dependent on you to stay bonded, and if you don't step in, then who will, right? So that's kind of how I see community, and even more so now in this current climate, right? So yeah.
Mm.
Do you believe that community and friendships are directly intertwined, or is there a definition difference in like showing up as a friend for friends or showing up in community for community?
I think that's the problem,
Mm-hmm.
actually. I think it's the problem, at least where I'm at right now. I am journeying through this direct space right now. Because when you do community work, or I love the term villager. That's
Mm-hmm.
I'm stealing it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you ate with
as
that.
a as a villager, one of the things that comes very easily is people want to be connected to you, and they will give you a title that you don't even have to accept, right? And one
Mm-hmm.
of the issues with that is that they meet the responsibilities of being in community with you, but they
Mm-hmm.
don't meet the responsibilities of being your friend. Like
Mm-hmm.
the human end requires something different than the leader end.
Oh,
The
yes.
human end is soft. The human end is more emotional. The human end is more traumatized and triggered, right? And that is not something I can show all the time as the
Mhm.
leader in, right?
Mhm.
Because my calling is to lead,
Come
right?
Okay.
on.
But the human in me still sits there and is like, my love, you
Yeah.
don't meet the criteria, right? And
You
so
made me
I'm
want
really
to
journeying.
get my tambourine.
So I'm really journeying through this space of like really making people live up to what they call you in a
Okay.
Mm.
way that really makes sense. I think they can be intertwined, but I think it takes a lot of emotional maturity and a lot of like constant reckoning with the other person to say, hey, I bitch, like I'm requiring more. I
Yeah.
require more from you in this space because I'm not showing up with the answer. I'm not showing up with the fist. I'm not showing up. Actually, I'm showing up broken. I'm showing up hurt. I'm
Oh.
showing up depressed, right? I'm showing up anxious. That's who I am as a person when I take
Hmm.
that leader hat off. And I
Right.
need you to be able to reckon with that if you're going to be my friend.
Yeah.
Mm.
Look, these good answers y'all keep dropping. I'm sitting here like, nah, that
Yeah.
was powerful. That was really powerful. And it actually made me sort of change my perspective to some degree. Because initially I was like, yeah, kind of. But then as you dug into the layers, honestly, it made me a little more reflective, which is what community is supposed to do, right? So being in community makes you pause, it makes you sit and be reflective and contemplative. And so with that, to add on, in addition, I think um, they are totally two separate things. I think we forget that we also tier our friendships, right? You have friends that are
Mhm.
like your best friends, and then you have friends that are your good time friends, and you got friends that are your I work with them friends, right? And I think if
A
we
very special episode, friend.
right. If we can compartmentalize friendship like that, then truth be told, community isn't that big of a leap. I think the only thing that's a unanimous follow through, or the unanimous that you need that thread and that needle to to make all of those relationships click would be empathy. So I think that's
Mhm.
the one thing that all of those things have in common, is that you, in order to be in community, you have to have deep empathy for people, and for your peers, because y'all know we love our folks, but they don't always got it together, right? And so you want to be supportive, you want to be able to show up for them, even when it's your job title or beyond your job title. However, you also recognize that you know is how I would show up for my friend. Like my friend would be like, you was wrong for that, right? Like this is why would you send me A B C D E F G? This isn't what I asked for, right? And you can go at it in a certain way, but when you're dealing with a community member, you're gonna put your kitten gloves on. You're gonna still reprimand, but it's gonna be a lot more soft, a lot more delicate. So I think
Mhm.
empathy is imperative in order to make both of friendship work. Loving on your friends and being in friendships versus being a community, but those two things, while they are different, I think there's some things or some behaviors we bring to both that have to be similar for them to be successful. But
Right.
that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was good 2 cents because like so much came up for me in the lens of empathy, right? I'm thinking about how I have been, I think when you, especially like us, or let me not make an assumption, but my thought of like how we step into community, like we are looked at as folks who create the thing or create the space, right? Or create the energy. And there is a sense of expectation of, I don't want to say perfection, but it's like, oh, you do this thing, so I see you in this way. And I
Right.
really, there is work to be done too around, like you said, humanizing leaders, if you will, and humanizing folks like us that create space as well, because I've been romanticized to be this perfect ass thing that I'm not. I've been beat down, kicked down, A-town stomped, okay? Dragged on the internet, all the things.
Hmm.
But also in that same sense, I have met folks who I can call my best friend in space, that I've created, and my lover. Like literally that's where I met my girlfriend. So it's just so I'm not trying to get ahead of the things because I don't know what we're talking about tonight. But you
Oh, we
know,
getting there.
there's a very thin line, and I do think that empathy is required from us and from folks who come into the spaces that we create as well. And like I just ask in the name of all of us, okay, y'all, we don't know it all, we don't got it all. I know perspective and the optics look a certain way, but baby,
Mhm. We're all doing the dance
okay.
for
Listen,
sure. So I wanted to segue next into navigating romance in a community space. I don't know about you guys' experience, but for me, a lot of times being at the markets or at certain types of events, you interface with so many people, and a lot of times you're having these conversations. And speaking from my experience, sometimes I'll be talking to somebody, I'm like, is this a bro thing or is this nigga flirting with me? Like I don't know how to navigate that sometimes. So I usually always lean right into like business. So if I feel like something's too flirty, then I'll try to like revert it, or in my attempt to like test it to see if it's going this way or that way, I always just lean to like that way. Because I also believe, and I try to implement this myself, that if I'm gonna be flirty, I'm gonna be intentionally flirty. Like I want you to know, I'm not gonna be like grabbing on you and saying the thing, but I'm gonna definitely be saying the thing. You know what I mean? So is that something that you guys have also encountered in the community space, like a blurred line? You know what I mean?
I
I
love
ain't giving
everybody go quiet.
crickets.
Like, listen.
That's how I know my questions are on the one tonight. I'm Barbara Walters tonight.
Where is the glasses, babe? We need the journalism glasses. What? The lines have been blurred, babe.
Okay.
The lines
I
have been blurred.
mean, in your case, you're Robin Thicke. You blurred the line
Baby,
completely.
at this point.
Right. Well, do you want to talk about the transition of that, like how you two navigated going from community space, people who work together in a space, and then the next level?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, I just have to give so much credit to my girlfriend because her name is Hope, by the way.
Hmm.
Hope is a Virgo and she is professional down, baby. It's like W-9 agreement. I'll be there an hour early. I'm gonna be set
Hmm.
up 30 minutes ahead.
Okay.
And you know what I'm saying? And like the
DJing
set
at
is
the
gonna
White
start on
House
time. Yes,
under the
follow her.
Biden administration.
Okay. Okay.
Making that
Hello.
clear. Under the Biden administration.
Under the Biden administration, yes, she is the first black queer woman to DJ on that South Lawn. Okay, for Pride.
Okay.
2023 Biden administration. But anyway, um, Yeah, I really appreciate how professional she is, and also for me, like I'm the same way. Like you said, Rich, it's not giving no blur lines with me now, honey. Can I flirt? I'm a Scorpio. It's all up in me. Okay, it's in a
Hmm.
couple of placements. I can do the thing, but when it comes to the work, no, we're not doing that. So for 2 years, I was just booking her to DJ, and then I was seeing her on the internet and seeing, like, she DJ'd at the White House. She went to Africa to teach students how to DJ. It was just like some things about her that I really found attractive.
Hmm.
Not just in her work element, but just again, optics.
In her person.
It looked good on the internet, and so
Hmm.
I just shot my shot, and here we are. Our 1 year anniversary is next week, actually. So yeah, so we've been in space for about 3 years in each other's orbit. So
Hmm.
I
that's the short story
love
short.
I,
Okay.
I I love that. I love hearing that because you give me, single folks out here hope. And I say that to say it's tricky navigating dating while being in a public role, which I'm sure everyone on this call can attest to. I'm told, and I'm a Scorpio as well, so you definitely probably feel me on this. But I've been told I flirt by default, and I don't know if I'm doing that. I don't intentionally go out to flirt in when I'm doing business, but people say that I tend to flirt. Like my friends always like, you're always flirting. Then I'm like, I'm not. I'm just being social. So I guess my social can come off as flirting. So I have to be mindful when I'm out in the work capacity that I keep it as a buck as much as possible. And my thing is, if you're trying to come at me in a romantic way, you got to be direct because I'm direct. And I don't, because what often has happened since we're there, what often has happened, people will be trying to holler at me, and I have no clue, because I'm showing up as my full self, and my full self may come off a little flirty, but it's always business first, and so I'm unaware that that's what's happening, because they aren't being direct, and then I found out like years later or months later, after when I'm in something that I was really feeling you, da da da, and I'm thinking to myself, mother. I would have, we could have done some things had I
I'd have went
known.
for it.
Also, if I
Had I
could
known.
just if I could just make a statement for anyone watching this for the future or what have you, if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're going to send that message, keep it. Keep it. We just don't even. In 5 years from now, I don't need to know that you liked who I was 5 years ago.
Okay,
Keep that. Keep that.
really, that is
I was a
real.
different woman then than I'm the woman I am today. Okay, keep it. I don't want to ever. I I especially like because my 20-year high school reunion is coming up, and my friends and I were like all in this group chat, like talking about, are you going? Are you going? Whatever. I was like, I don't really want to know the opinions of what people thought about me 20 years ago. Now, granted, I will go just for the good time. You know what I mean? To be like in the space. But like, I also don't want to answer the question 100 times. So what have you been up to? Like,
Okay.
I don't care. Can we just drink? Can we just, what I'm saying? Like, can we just, you know what I mean? Maybe complain about your kids or something. I don't know. But like, I don't really want to keep, rehashing old opinions. That aggravates me. So anyway, continue, Daryl. I'm sorry.
I mean, nah, you hit it on those. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, either you're gonna commit, shoot your shot. The best thing you can do is tell. The best thing that or worst thing that might happen is I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested. Or I'm sorry, I'm currently talking to somebody. Or I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I already talked to your friend. So I've had that happen before.
Or
Ooh.
that.
And I'm like, when it's too mixy, I'm like, yeah, I done talked to your friend. I done
We're
seen
gonna
your
come back
friend.
to that.
Yeah, I done seen your friend
Yeah.
naked. I don't know if I feel safe jumping into this space with
Now,
you,
seeing
knowing
the
that
friend
today y'all
naked
might be
in a
comparing notes.
photo versus seeing the friend naked in person, does that make a difference?
It does. I mean,
Okay,
photo versus, and this was real time for me. So it was like in real time, like, yeah, we done some things. So I don't know if I feel comfortable doing
different.
things with
That's
you
different.
too.
Yeah.
Now I guess it also depends because if you are like a Tyson Beckford of some sort, like maybe that might change my mind. Because those only come like once in a lifetime. But ultimately, I try to stay away from when it's mixy. So I always say shoot your shot. Again, don't come at me though first with work and then try to make it about that. Start with that or lead with that if that's what it is, because
Hmm.
that's the one thing that will piss me the hell off. And then I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not, because then I feel like you're playing games. So then I'm like, I'm not seeing it either way.
Right.
But again, it's another thing if we've worked together in the past and you like, and as we work together, you sort of started to like a bruh. Like, just let me know. Let me know.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm human, and we all need love. We all need love.
Mhm.
Mhm. Ian, what about you?
Oh, that was so good. Y'all so PC, child. Um,
Who is that?
yeah, so I'm a Scorpio too, by the way.
What the hell?
Wow.
Um,
I
Now,
don't,
what are the
Rich.
odds?
Wow.
What are the odds?
Rich, why you playing on my phone?
I
Because you
didn't
got
know.
all
I
my
honestly
cousins in the
did
house.
not know. I did not know everybody was gonna be a Scorpio. The only requirement was that y'all be black and a little bit gay. That was the only thing I was like banking on.
Okay.
Everything else just kind of came together.
yeah.
Yo, the stars have aligned. The stars have aligned.
Yes, yes. So, I want to preface this by saying I think that it is tough when you work in a community that you live in. So I want to preface that, right? Like, and so I think there's already no blueprint for this black queer shit, right? But then, like, the point of being black and queer is that there's like queerness.
Hmm.
And so, like, on my end, I try to be respectful of me being a human having this spiritual experience because my calling is my work, not my
Hmm.
humanness, right? And so
Come on, humanity.
my humanity
Hmm.
needs to fuck. Okay.
Down.
Um, my calling needs to work. And actually both of them kind of intertwine. No, but I think that but I think no, for real. I think that it's really important to figure out what that balance looks like because I think that also plays into this like patriarchal system of like white collar, dress professional being, right? That is
Hmm.
not who we are, right? Like I
Hmm.
think
Hmm.
there are some like there's a sense of accountability and responsibility we owe ourselves in order to do work well.
Right.
I don't think negating love, negating sex, negating flirting is a part of that. And actually, when we look at the people who name what professional is, wink, wink, um, those people are the antithesis of what we would call professional, right?
Hmm.
And so I think like giving ourselves the space to figure this shit out and to like and to explore. Like I would hate one of my colleagues was talking about this. There's this ancestor, we're celebrating Black History Month, and there's this ancestor who did all of this work and passed away, and now they got this big award and posthumously and all that kind of stuff. And everybody's clapping for it. And I'm like, yeah, they were a professional gay that never lived out being gay. They
Oh.
were an in the closet gay. They
Mm.
died alone with community at
Mm.
a service. I would never want to experience a life where I give it to a community that I cannot be a part of.
Mm. That's it. That is it. And I mean, like hearing that makes me think about like, and I'm not much for like hot topics or anything like that, but it makes me think about like people like Donnie McClurkin, who gave his life to gospel music in the church, and so much of his like our understanding of who he is through his music and his work in Christianity, and that led him to having this like I won't say demise, but like a mental separation of self, where like he saw these things that naturally came to his person, his humanity, as wrong, and he like would not live the life he felt he should be living. And to like put yourself in that space, I can't imagine being 60 years old and not being able to be like, like when I had my time, I wasn't fucking or doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine having a life like that. That would break my heart. It breaks my heart to just think about it. You know what I mean? But I like what you also said about like how we show up in community doesn't have to be a suit and tie. And it's so funny because I was having a conversation with a friend who we were at Applebee's like this was last year. Because I don't even think Applebee's is still around. Do they still have Applebee's? Thank God.
In
'Cause I
Houston,
love
they do, baby.
Applebee's.
I
They
think
closed the
there's like
one
one
near
or two of
me,
them still
so
out
I
there
don't know
too.
what's going on in the world anymore. But we were at the Applebee's having like our little dollar Jolly Ranchers, and she was saying, I was saying something about like, how I like to dress. I like to show a little bit of skin, whatever. And she was like, yeah, because you dress very provocatively all the time. And I was like, kind of taken back by that. Like, is that really how people see me? And then I started like talking to other people about it, and they're like, oh, yeah, Rich, you're kind of like a slut. And I was like, that's crazy. But I never see it as like, I always looked at it as like, I have this body, so I'm celebrating it. You know what I'm saying? Like I always want to be in a position of celebrating my body because one, it took me a long time to realize that it's a body to be celebrated, and then two, I just feel like the world should see it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I never thought of it as like provocative for me to show skin or whatever. Do you guys ever like have to deal with that internal or external ideology around how you dress or show up when you're in community?
That
I,
is
I created the world that I'm living in because I needed it. And that
Right.
is literally that's where I create from. Like that's my art medium, if you will. Like how I approach experiential design and community work is like creating what I need. Like I need to be able to show up in my work where I'm wearing a fuzzy fucking lime green hat and a crop top and my ass out. You know what I mean? Like I need that. I need to be able to be a boss bitch in a room wearing whatever the fuck I feel like on that day.
Okay.
Um, no how many patterns, how many colors, how many black ass brands I got on, like that is so important to me. I actually just made a post in my close friends about this because I also do this work like consulting in a consulting aspect. So I
Mhm.
posted in my close friends like I was cracking up looking at one of my clients' Instagram pages because I'm like in black ass flea market, like streetwear, like a whole outfit I bought from the market and like beads in my hair, long ass, just nails, just all the things. Just and this
Mhm.
client is like super modest, but like also very much in alignment with the work that I do, and like very values very much who I am. And I was like, yo, looking at this picture of myself is so funny because I never thought that I could. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so like it was so important for me to create the space to let give myself the permission to show
Mhm.
up as I am all the way. Like
Right.
I can be exactly who I am and be paid $10,000 to do your event. Like I can talk in
Okay.
my North Philly talk. I can have my nails going. Y'all lucky I ain't got no damn fronts yet, cause I'm going to real. Yeah, it's gonna get
Okay.
there. So
I love that line that both of you all said, showing up as my full self or showing up as who I am. And for me, I would say that journey started as a kid. I'm from the South, Virginia originally, but my family's from Birmingham, Alabama. So navigating that, growing up, and I've always had a passion to dress. It's not eccentric, but just to be fashion forward. I'm like, if I saw a Red Man when I was back in the day, if I saw a Red Man, Method Man wearing it, I wanted it. Usher had it, I had to get it. But then I couldn't wear it just like them. I had to put my own little Darryl Dwayne spin on it. So I
Right.
do a little extra, and I always been a little extra since childhood. And I think the hurt, the wounding that I went through as a child, growing up, not being accepted in the South, in the beginning, how because of how I showed up, and then it got to the point where I had to basically, as you said earlier, Rich, like own it. I was like, okay, y'all already are going to think what you think about me. You're already going to say what you're going to say about me. However, I've done both. I've done I'm gonna tone it down because I don't want people to look at me, and that didn't feel good. And then I was like, I'm gonna show up as my full self, and people are saying what they're saying. Now that hurt, but I felt better knowing that I was showing up as who I am, and
Mhm.
my aesthetic is my aesthetic. And what I learned in doing that was that I'm not the only one. There are other people out there that connect with how I put this together or how I'm showing up
Mhm.
in this space dressed like this. And me showing up as my full self, I've learned in my years of living that it gives permission to other people to do the same. And so for
Mhm.
me, I now that I'm 40 plus years old, for me is like, look, this is what it is. This is what it's going to be. And you can either get with it or not get with it. I am grateful that we live in a time now and a climate now where it's a little more relaxed, even though they're trying their best to drag us back to hell, to to the 1930s, 1950s, where everything is so repressed. But that's part of their problem. But I say all that to say, like showing up and dressing how you feel on the inside out, I think is only a punctuation mark to who you are and your personality and your identity. So
Mm.
I can't or cannot see it any other way. I'm blessed that I have a job and career track where I'm able to do that because I'm aware that some people's jobs don't allow that. But while I'm at where I'm at, that's my goal. Like show up as I am because there's another, the next generation behind me is looking and they're watching. And to your point, we think about leaders like Bernard Restons and other folks who still had to compromise who they were to some degree just so that they can fit into the fabric of where they were at. However, what you said earlier about calling, your calling, like if that's your calling, like can't nobody stop that, no matter how you show up, no matter how you dress, which is why when we see folks who hurt community still have success, it's because their calling is still like detached from their character, right? The character is who it is, but their calling is still their calling, their gift is still their gift. So while their character did not, their talent took them to a place where their character couldn't sustain them, that doesn't negate their talent. And so I say that as
Mm.
community leaders, our talent is in building bridges and building community. If you caught up on me wearing a see-through shirt with my nipples out, like then that's a problem
Your
for you. You know,
business.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not a it's not a problem for me. However, I do understand space. So if I'm in a space where that is not accepted, then I'm going to dress the part, but I'm gonna still show up fly. So just understand you're not dampering. I'm not whitewashing or washing myself
Dimming your light. Yeah.
yeah, just to fit in. But I'll pass it because I feel like it was a long explanation to get
No,
to
that was
to the
good.
point.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was so good. Um, so I'll speak for me. Y'all are hitting some shit that's like I'm dealing with right now. We are, when I started this organization, it was just my idea. I was writing a blog, and now we got staff and we got, full-time staff and part-time staff and volunteers and spaces. So I'm in like this weird space, right? So two things, and I'll try to be quick to answer this. The first thing is where I'm at right now as it relates to dressing and like this, all of the things, is that I can choose something different every day, right? And what I
Mm.
mean by that is that 15-year-old me needed a space to represent what Black queerness looked like for me.
Mm-hmm.
25-year-old me needed a space to express what that looked like for me. Now that I'm almost 40, it's not that it's different. It's the fact that I can make a different choice, right? That
Mm.
same broken 15-year-old that was homeless, that same 25-year-old just coming out of sex work is not this story at 37. And so I
Mm-hmm.
can choose something different every single day. And that also goes with my clothes because my character does not change because my clothes. And so I can wear a kilt or a skirt today, and then tomorrow I can wear a suit. That did not change anything. I can choose
Mm-hmm.
different because I am a multiplicity of intersections. That's the first
Come on
thing.
now. Preach, preacher.
The second thing I think about though is that I think in movement work, one of the strategies we miss is not trying to assimilate to the foolishness that is white supremacy. But I do think, like, your fellow VA person said, Chris Brown, you can't do nothing from outside the club, right?
Okay.
And
Can't even
so you can't even get in, right? And so I think there is a place for both, right? I think in terms of our strategy, I think, when I was on the ground doing, I still consider myself a grassroots person, but like when I was grinding every day with the picket signs and all this kind of stuff, I had to do all of that. But when you're managing $1 million and these white folks are looking at you, when you're managing, and you created it and you wrote all of it, right? There's a different level of responsibility that you and the people that represent that need to show up as, and y'all have to balance. And it's
Mm-hmm.
a really tough conversation because on one end, I want you to be all of yourself. The other part is I want you to recognize that all of yourself is not in the way you dress. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like those
Mm-hmm.
two things can be true. Like there's a
Yes.
Right.
space to do all of these things in and move us forward because what we're missing is that we can't do this shit alone. We're
That's
not a
true.
large enough,
That's true.
subpopulation to do this alone. How do we get that movable middle and influence them to begin to talk to us? And first impression is everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's about that balance. Like I got places to wear my dick out. I got places to wear, my jock strap. I got places to swing my hair. You know what I mean? Like I
Okay.
got places to do the things of the thing. And then I also have places to get these coins and to get
Okay.
Yeah.
this movement. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't know. I don't know. That wasn't a clear answer, but that's where
It
I'm at.
was. It
What it
was.
It was
was
clear,
a word.
friend. It was
It
You
was
know what
it was
clear.
it
I
was
mean?
clear.
Yeah,
It was
we
clear.
received it. I think that because I have been moving in a space as a sustainable stylist recently, and one thing that I always tell clients is like style is not about like changing how you dress. If you always lead with comfort, if you always lead with subtlety or sexuality, you can do that. It's just about changing the period to an exclamation point. It's about making the idea loud enough that it's translating without having to be transcribed. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's all about how you put things together and how you show up. So, like you said, there's a way that I could still show a little skin, but be in front of people who are gonna give me that grant money or whatever
Hmm.
I need, or do what I need to do business as usual.
Yeah.
Now, another space to navigate is operating in an idea of expressing sexuality. So, and sexuality is vast. There's like things that we incorporate that can kind of lean into like the makeup of your person. Like if you have kinks or things like that, sometimes that's something that bleeds out a little bit because that's how it's expressed. Is that something that you feel you have to disassociate from yourself when you show up in your community?
And I'll go first because I ain't went first in a while. But hell
Go on.
no, hell no. Why
Okay.
would I? Why would I? Why would I disassociate myself from that in community? I think that's a part of that humanity piece, right? Like
Hmm.
I like nut. Why am I hiding that? Like, I'm gonna pee on you. Why am I hiding that? Like, what is there to hide? Sis, like we're getting our things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's a part of the humanity in community. Like that is
Right.
a space that I can be and in both, right? There aren't a lot of spaces that I can be and in both. I have to be either or in a lot of spaces. But in
Right.
community, I live and I work in this place. So no, I'm showing up as all of the things. I'm going to the deviant parties. I'm going to, you know what I mean? Now, I do recognize that I have a responsibility because people are not going to see me as Ian at Deviant and Ian as executive director,
Right.
right? They're just going to see executive director at Deviant. But that's character. That's not clothing. That's not action, right? Like I'm not judging anybody, and
Right.
nobody can ever say I did. But I'm not going in the restroom to toot. I'm not going in the restroom to toot. But I also don't do it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I also don't do coke, so it's no tea. Like, go do your things. I'm at the deviant. I'm having my drink. You know what I mean? That's
Right.
a character thing. I don't have to separate myself
Right.
from who I am just because I work in community, in my opinion.
I also like how you said I'm gonna pee on you, which made it sound like a threat, but we're gonna move past that. That sounded a little threatening. I was like, right now? I was like, what's happening?
I can't. Right.
But anyone else would like to answer?
Sure. I'll throw my hat in the ring. Honestly, I don't separate the two, but I'm also, and I'm gonna just leave it. I'm a Scorpio, and I think all my Scorpios can attest to this. Like, who we show, how we show up, like in public is not necessarily how I show up in private, right? Like
Right.
Mm.
if you have the luxury, and I'm gonna call it what it is, the luxury
Come
for
on
me to
now.
show up with you in private, then you already know what it is. Like if you have the luxury to catch me outside at one of the maybe after events that my friend just spoke to, like like you catch me outside. It is what it is. But on the same breath, I'm not like I'm not hiding. Like, oh my God, that people know I'm here. Or oh my God, people
Hmm.
see me. At Lambda, even though that's just a regular club. But my homeboy owns Lambda. I'm like, just because they see me at Lambda, like, yeah, I'm at Lambda. I'm probably just like you because you're here too, right? So I say all that to say, like, you gotta. I think that's the breaking down the fourth wall, right? Like, you gotta, like, people will put a fantasy of you together and a composite of who they think you are together. And even with my own family, like, I've had to break that barrier down, right? Because my immediate family knows exactly who I am. They've always known exactly who I am, but my extended family is like, well, is he? You seen he's on a whole web series where he's like, raping men and he's kissing boys in the mouth, and it's like, but I'm an actor, right? This is what I do, and it just so happens to be connected to the community that I'm connected to. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I think because Hollywood and TV for a long time would cast folks that had no direct correlation to a space or a community, so they can't relate. But I'm blessed to be in a space where I can relate and connect to these characters in a way that I think makes our hope shows in the dramatization of through in the series. So I say all that to say, like, I've had to, even in my 9 to 5, people may know me from the web series before they know me from the museum,
Mm.
right? They may know me from, because I do a lot of other community work outside of my 9 to 5 with organizations like the JC Takeover, which is for us by us, right? Black men, black men on within the queer community and spectrum, serving other black men and community members, right? And so you may know me from one of those other spaces and then meet me in my 9 to 5. I'm still that same Darryl, but it's my friend said earlier, my character is the same, like in both spaces, but you might get a little more reserved, a little more polished version of me in my main
Well,
9 to 5
not that.
because that can go either way. That could be next time, but you decide, you decide. But but how I show up is still going. I'm going to show up according to the space, but I'm
Right.
not hiding or diminishing again who I am simply because I'm in community. Because you're gonna, if you're gonna want dislike me, you're gonna want to do that regardless. Like that's what it is. Nothing I can say or change is going. Nothing that I can say or do is going to change that. So
Right.
again, at my big old age, just had to recognize that either you rocking with me or you're not, and either one is okay. We don't got to be best friends, but we can get to this bag, we can handle this business, and we can then move and go our separate ways.
Hmm. Hmm.
All I have to say is amen.
Okay.
Yeah, and but I gotta come back something, and I want a comment, because I think it's so powerful. Like I think white men have used sex for power
Hmm.
forever and ever and ever, and so as you get like further out to the margins, there's this natural stigma that comes with expressing and exploring both sex and sexuality.
Hmm.
And I think one of the beautiful things about this next generation of leadership, particularly at the intersection of like Black and queer, is that we are exploring sexuality open to make it
Hmm.
comfortable for our communities to explore said sexuality.
Right.
Um, because, like, oh, my mama, like, I do not want my godchild to grow up in a world as a 17-year-old trans woman, right? I don't want her to grow up in a world that she cannot talk about genitalia safely, that she cannot talk about exploring top, bottom, SRS safely. I don't want her to grow up in a world because the worlds that we grew up in was written with losing a generation of gay men.
Mm-hmm.
Were built on, you know, silencing a generation of lesbians, right? Like that's the work of powerful people who have used sex, both how they engage and how they disengage sex with
Mm-hmm.
power. And so I think it's so beautiful for us to be having a conversation on, yes, bitch, I'm the doll every day and I'm
Mm-hmm.
carrying on.
Right,
That's power.
right. And I'm carrying on. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
that's what you just talked about the generation before us and how they handled sexuality. I always talk about when I came out to my mother, which wasn't first of all, it didn't happen until I was in my 30s, which was crazy. Because I'm like, girl, you didn't know? But I remember it was like literally the first month everybody was kind of like locked down from COVID, and I had posted something silly on I think it was Facebook because that's where the olds be at. You know what I mean? So I
The
posted something
old.
about loving a man or something on Facebook, and my cousin called my mother and was like, you know, what is Rich talking about this? Da, da, da. So then she called me, and I'm just like baffled because I'm kind of like, girl, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? But and as we like started to go deeper into the conversation, and she was kind of saying like I had to think about the things she was saying because at first I was kind of like getting hurt by the way she was like talking about it and talking to me about it. But I had to think like my mother grew up in a time where if you usually found out a man was gay, it was because he had been to prison or you know what I'm saying, like you found out that a man had dealings with men because he had passed away from AIDS or something like that. That was the generation she came up in. So she doesn't have the realization that like one that those aren't death sentences for people anymore, and then two that like people can just be gay and live and work and be successful and be known for that without it being shameful or whatever. You know what I mean? She doesn't have that kind of recollection of the lifestyle, if you want to call it the lifestyle, because I don't really love that term. But so I had to
Are,
kind of like hold it to a different degree when like dealing with her in that idea. So I was like, you know, try not to be so upset with her around her verbiage and the way that she saw it, because I'm like, you would think that even with me saying this, that of all people, my mother would be able to be like, this is still the person I know, my son, but it was like this whole unearthing of something else, which I was like, this is crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it takes a beat for moms. Don't ask me why, because
Mm,
the same conversation even with my mom, and I love my mom to death, and my mom loves me. But and she's still processing and working through. If that makes sense, right? Because when we talk about certain topics, and it's the spot where it's like, oh, that's still a blind spot for you, huh? I can tell by the way you're responding, right? And then we
mm,
grew up in the Bible Belt, right? Again, I told you my people's from Birmingham, Alabama, so it's football and this church. That so growing up in those spaces, they're heavily repressed, right? Like they, in their mind, they never, seen people like this, and if they did, they were one extreme or the other, right? And so to meet people who just, happen to be, is like, what they exist, like, it's a bit of jarring. One thing I can say though that was sort of, and I know this is, the only reason I'm telling this story is because it's really beautiful, and I think more, I want to give props and respect to the Black fathers that show up, but like when I had the same conversation that I had with my mom that I had with my father in regards to sexuality, how I show up, my dad was probably the most embracive and inclusive, which is so interesting, to have that dialogue with him, because of course this happened as an adult, me and him discussing this, and me coming being fully honest about about everything, including the SA that happened to me when I was a kid. Like I never shared
mm,
any of that with him until I became an adult, but in being able to like talk to my pops straight up, and the honesty that my Black father showed me, and the love that he showed me in that moment, where he was like very transparent. He's like, yeah, had you brought this to me like when you were in high school or middle school, I'm not gonna lie, I would have been ate up. I would have been pissed off, because I would have been blaming me.
mm,
Looking at it as a me, like what did I do, how did I fail? But I'm grateful that you feel comfortable enough in this space as an adult to be able to have this conversation and dialogue with me. And you feel safe enough to share that part of yourself with me. And I just want you to know I love you regardless of who and what and how you show up. I'm gonna always be your dad. I'm gonna always be your pops. I'm gonna always be here for you. And like that little nuance, like while I know it was taking a beat for my mom to still digest it, right, and digest, nothing changed as y'all said earlier. I'm still same person, but it took a beat for her. And I think it's just because mothers and sons, just the relationship, just like daughters and moms, right? It's
Mhm.
nuanced. But my father surprised me because I thought he was going to be the hard pill to swallow, and my mom was going to be like you said earlier, Rich. Like that's my dog. We've been rolling Ace Coon since day one. Especially considering how my grandma. That's a whole nother story we have to talk about another live. But she knew early on, and we had a conversation early on. But I say all that to say, my pops really showed up in the way that I often think black dads don't get loved and shown respect for because they're so busy listening to all the others who are fathers who get like a blue face and all these other people who get up here and do and say these things that my son would never be, and it's like you have no control over that. And if that's all it takes, then you really love your children like you say you do
Right.
because again that bond is beyond that, right? So I just wanted to throw that 2 cents in and express like big shout out to black dads who show up and love their children no matter through whatever it is, right? So
Hmm.
yeah, that was my 2 cents.
Do you guys have like similar coming out experiences?
My coming out was, well, first of all, it's interesting with me because I was already out of my parents' house by the time I was 14, 15. So,
Mm.
when you have to lose your innocence at such an early age and really jump into survival mode so soon, I don't have to tell anybody shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because like we got to be honest about like there's neglect there. There's love, but I mean, if adults have made certain decisions that impact my little life and I have to figure it out,
Right.
by the time I decide to tell you something, first of all, you're lucky. It's because I felt like it.
Right.
Um, and sometimes I don't tell you anything and you might see some shit and you're like, oh, did you always? So that's kind of what it was for both of my parents. I will say that both of them have always been, they're very artsy, they're very like pretty chill. My mother has been raised by a woman who was born in 1919, so we already know what's there. There was a lack of like affection in certain ways, and her looking for love and whatever. I ended up out of the house at an early age, and I was living with family, but it was like I'm living with my 20 something year old cousin
Right.
at by the time I'm 15, I got a job, I'm paying bills, I'm figuring out
Hmm.
how to cook and do all the things. So fast forward, my life is not at all like anyone in my family on either side. And
Hmm.
I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just saying it's just a fact. So
Right.
by the time that I mean I was kissing girls at 15 years old, but the world has not seen me with a woman until I was 34.
Mm.
I mean, but I've been dealing with women.
Right.
I've been dating women, but it's just never been on the forefront. Like my
Right.
current partner is the first time that the world has seen. So it's like always like, girl, I didn't even know you was a lesbian, or I didn't even know. But it's like, I mean, it also wasn't your business. But my mother definitely was like, so, did you always date women? Is this like a one-time thing? I'm like, girl, I've been dating,
Mm.
been doing the
Right.
thing. So yeah. I really haven't even had like a coming out, if you
Of
will. It's
course.
just
Yeah.
like, hey ma, this is hope, type of situation.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I I mean, dang, we all got all of these interconnected stories. I was also kicked out when I was 14 or 15. It was because I came out. I was
Mm.
different story for another day. But I was involved with an adult and people found out and then told obviously they told my mother and so at first she was okay with it. She was like, It's a phase. We'll pray about it. Then we went
Mm.
in front of the church to pray about it. And I'm like,
Oh,
whoa,
Big
whoa,
game.
whoa, whoa, whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
that's
Wasn't
rough.
ready for that.
Yeah.
Um, and so then after some time, when she realized very quickly that this was not a phase, it was the choice. You be gay and you gotta go, or you can give that up and you can live with me. But we stayed in a trap house. So I'm like, that's not even a choice, baby. I go. So
He was like, you don't even live here.
yeah. So I was smart enough to know that. I'm like, well, shit. I mean, I got about as much chance of being successful as you do. So
Right.
here we go. So anyway, I came to Houston at 14, 15. I had to, sleep under the bus stop and stuff, but I found community. Community saved me.
Mm,
um, and then about 21, 22, I heard that my mom had got sick. Hadn't talked to my mom in all that time. And I went to church on Mother's Day, and this strong, beautiful, light skinned, auburn brown hair woman was a shell of herself.
mm,
And it broke my heart. And I thought to myself, do I need to be healed from the trauma that she gave me, or does she need to be healed from the absence of her son? And so I chose
Mm.
the latter. And
wow.
so we became best friends actually. And she passed away when I was
Mm.
25, with me holding her hand.
Mm.
That taught me a lot about trauma, but that's a different story. What I was getting to is every after all of that, I'm like, well, I'm out. I'm out. I'm coming around all the family. Y'all meeting every boyfriend. Y'all talking to all the girls. I'm bringing the trans girls. I'm bringing the trans men.
The
Like y'all
dog.
gonna see all the people, right?
Mm.
And then at my grandfather's funeral, my second cousin or something was preaching about trans people while my friends was there. And so I was
Oh.
just heartbroken. So I had like this come to Jesus with my aunts because they were going to understand. And I'm like, hey, aunts, I was so heartbroken. I had to leave with my friends at a Papa's funeral. And they were like, well, Ian, it's just that we don't want you to go to hell. And I said,
Mhm.
fuck hell. Take hell off the table and tell
Right.
me why you actually don't like me.
Mm,
Right.
Because it ain't got nothing to do with hell. Because if you were afraid of hell, whatever the fuck that is, if you were afraid of hell and you were afraid of me not getting to hell, then you would at least love me now.
baby.
Woo. Mic drop exactly. And what's the highest commandment of it all? Love. Like this
Love.
is where I get baffled. Like I grew up in the Bible Belt, so I'm with you on that. And when people throw the Bible at me, I throw it right back at them because I'm like, you do realize that verse that you quoting that you standing on was a man-made verse that came from the
Yes.
Hebraic Bible that started it all. But people want to utilize something that was politicized that wasn't even real that they were going to revise in the 1960s if we're going to talk Bible and
Yes.
take it out of the
Yes.
Bible, but they kept it in because they governments realized they could politicize it for
Hmm.
the reasons that they're doing now to be able to put bans in place and to be able to monitor people's bodies because again when you repress the public and you push them down you get to sort of claim what's the word I'm looking for when you're in charge of everything like you get to be the big boss right
Hmm.
you get
Mm.
to politicize people's bodies, which as a black people in general, everything about us is political, so we can't
Hmm.
run away from it, right? So you might as well live in your truth. Because again, to succumb or suppress based on ideologies that are not even rooted in truth is like I have a problem with that. Like God's biggest commandment of all things was the love, and you all are out here subscribing to this idea of judgment when it clearly says in the Bible you shouldn't judge. So,
Hello.
but you do it. So it's like yeah, I feel
And
for you.
also, and also, fuck hell. Fuck hell.
Okay, that part.
Can we
I'm
talk about it?
100% with you. I'm 100%. So fuck hell. Take
Y'all, we need to
hell
put that
off
on
the
a shirt.
table.
Rich
Yeah.
Rocket Co.
Okay.
Yes,
Fuck
yes.
hell.
Fuck hell. Fuck the
Take
devil.
hell off the yeah. Take hell off the table and tell me why you don't like me.
Yeah.
Take hell off the table and tell me why you're disgusted by my existence. Take hell off. Tell me, no, don't tell me what the devil said. Don't tell me what the
Right.
Bible said. Don't tell me what the fucking church said. Tell me what you're saying.
Right.
Because
Baby,
if
the
sin has
envy.
no measure, then like you're lying, you going to hell. That time you stole when you was 11, you going to hell. You know what I'm saying?
The
Like
envy be
all those times.
so deep. The envy be so deep when you don't have the power to give yourself to permission to be who you want to be, or give yourself
Right.
permission to be curious about who
Yeah.
you might be. The envy be so deep.
And what be
Hmm.
wild is they'll preach, well, God gives me grace, but He ain't giving you grace to like feel to see your life and exalt your life in the best way possible. That's going to make the most sense for you. Like at the end of the
Hmm.
day, you saying great God is all unlimited, omnipotent, and all powerful, but He can't give you grace in the space that brings you joy and love. I
Yeah.
beg to differ. I mean, if Jesus was hanging with prostitutes and stand in the midst of a woman being stoned for adultery, which all of those acts allegedly are hellbound as well, then why can't you? I mean, like, I thought the goal was to live like Christ, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Hmm.
need y'all to step it up. But I get frustrated. I felt that when you said it, the Bible Belt.
You
That's
know,
triggered. I got triggered.
speaking of biblical times, to be a prostitute during biblical time, what a world. I can't imagine having to be a prostitute when there aren't toilets. You know what I'm saying? Like, could you
Well,
imagine being a prostitute without running water, having
That's
to
not where
have
I
a
thought you were
job
gonna
and
go.
then
I
go
didn't
down to
expect
the
to go there
river?
either, but I hear you.
I didn't think you were
I,
gonna go there. I thought you were gonna be like,
yeah.
that was a bad bitch. I thought that's, you
No, I
know.
mean, no, she had to be bad because to withstand. I can't imagine like literally having a job, a John, and then having to go to the river and then go
very.
back to the wherever. You know what I'm saying? I
No,
cannot imagine.
They collected a lot of duck butter, I'm sure.
Now, what is duck butter?
Smegma.
Who's that?
Smegma, when
Oh,
the
oh,
cheese,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
when the
I'm
cheese.
like, now, what is that? That sounded like a biblical soap or something. I'm like, what's that? Now,
I wasn't ready.
I want to
I
segue.
just learned something too. I wasn't
I
ready.
want to segue.
I want to segue into talking about relationships in a public space. So, as we all are, like, kind of like a public figure, a person that people know. How do you feel about like having a romantic relationship be public for people to either celebrate or scrutinize?
I feel like we Scorpios, so we all public private, if that makes sense. If you see it in public, it was curated. We knew it was gonna be public. We ain't playing with the public
Okay, there
side.
was a rollout.
Yeah, like it was some thought behind it. Now, if you catch something off guard, we still don't give we don't give a fuck. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's public private. Like for me anyway, I don't mind sharing or loving out loud if I know my partner is riding for me, but don't be out here making the fool of me because then we're gonna have a problem. Which is probably why, to my friend's point earlier, like most my parents haven't met everybody I date, and that's the reason. Because if I'm bringing you home, that means I like you. If I'm bringing
Hmm.
you, if I'm introducing you to friends and family, that means you it. And I don't do that with everybody I date because I'm still feeling you out. I need to
Mhm.
know if you riding for me and how deep this thing really goes. But if we get to that place, heck yeah, like public, like it's whatever. Because at the end of the day, you're my increase. That's how I like to look at it. Not my better half, but you're my increase. Because I'm bringing 100, you bringing 100, so we each other's increase. And I need the world to understand that yeah, while I'm dynamic in my how I show up, there's another person that's behind me that's just as dynamic, that's rooting for me,
Yes.
and that's holding me down. Same for them, I would hope, that they like, oh, okay, y'all are a community, y'all, and within your relationship is a network, right? So
Hmm.
I honestly, I think that's the beautiful side of showing up as a human, right? To be able to show love, to love out loud, in any capacity, whether it's through friendship or an intimate relationship. So I say, post it, don't block it, rock it, don't lock it down.
Yeah.
Hmm. I
Feel
love that.
like you about to freestyle.
Okay. The bars was boring just now.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
um, the question was again. Could you repeat it?
How do you feel about having a public relationship as a community figure?
Oh yeah. Well, what I'll say is I'm very grateful that Hope and I we real as fuck with each other. We are very honest. We also very solid with each other. Like our relationship, I'm grateful for the foundation that it's been built on.
Mm.
Transparency, honesty, like as cliche as that shit sounds, it's so important. This is the first relationship I've ever had where we can be real and raw and be like, "Can I talk to you as a friend?" Type, you know what I mean? And because I mean, if I can be honest, a bitch played with me last week, not her. A bitch played with me last week, and you know because they had some interchanges in the past. That's probably not the
Hmm.
word, but they had some exchanges in the past. But
Right.
it was just like I couldn't. All I could do was cackle in the young lady's face because you think you have something over me. Where my girlfriend and I talked about you a year ago, boo. I already know what
I've
that
been
was.
no.
I have been knowed what had happened.
Mhm.
So it's just so funny how, people will try you or test your relationship. And like, I'm just grateful that the foundation is brick, baby, with cement in between.
Okay.
Um,
Mortar.
you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't take it lightly. It is a privilege because I know how it can get with the girls. I've experienced it. I've lived it. I've been embarrassed
I was
out loud.
literally just talking to somebody about how you know the party is good when there's a little bit of lesbian tension. Like
Baby,
that's how you know the party is jamming. If you look around and you just see a very tense a girl in the corner just kind of tense up, that's how you know it's the function now. We are
you know what
functioning.
I'm We're
It's about to
functioning.
get live.
We're functioning. Yeah,
Okay.
it's
And
so
not never
funny.
saying I don't it's never about violence or anything like that. But
Uh-huh.
you gotta feel just
That energy,
a little bit of that lesbian tension. It's got to be there.
just a crumb, just
Right.
a
Just
crumb.
a more select.
And it's like it's probably about once a year. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, I always what my line is, oh boo, I play a lot, but I don't play all the time. And that's
Mm.
really like and I leave it there. And
Hmm.
however you want to take that, that's fine.
Right.
I'm not gonna yell. I'm not gonna do too much. But I do play a lot, but I don't play all the time.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I'll tell you a joke, but I won't tell you a
I
lie.
will never
I'll
tell you a
never
lie.
tell you a lie.
Baby,
Mm.
I done a lot of work and a lot of healing. But
Hmm.
boo, she's still from North.
Okay.
Don't. All right. Okay.
Because when the jig is up, the jig is up.
That's all I got to say
Okay. So
about
you better
that.
shake it fast, but also watch
Watch
yourself.
yourself. Yes,
Okay.
Lord.
Watch
Yes, Lord, oh
yourself.
my soul.
Okay.
Okay.
Ian, how do you feel about public relationships?
So I don't know. I think because I live a pretty public life and that living where I work kind of thing happens, I feel like my relationship should be my sanctuary. When we come
Mm.
in, when we come in, we should worship. Whether you on your knees or I'm on mine, okay?
Come on,
Um,
come on.
but the point is, we should we should
Yeah.
worship. You know what I mean? We
Mm.
should get to the things. We should hold hands. We should pray. We should manifest. We should
Come
empire
on.
build. Right? Like we should, you should be my helpmate. That's one of the patriarchal things that I did take from the Bible, right? I need a
Mm.
helpmate,
It's
okay?
good.
Okay.
um, and I think a couple of things. One of the things that I think about is that as a public person, I was random. God rest his soul. I love Housewives, not all of them, but the ones that have black characters. So
Hmm.
Salt Lake City barely makes it, right? Um, and so I love Housewives, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I saw today that Mary Cosby's son has died from an apparent overdose,
Oh no.
allegedly, and he was struggling on the show with substance abuse and
Hmm.
substance use. And my first thought, and I told my partner, I'm like, oh my gosh, this season is going to be so good. That's a problem.
I like
It's a
that.
problem.
That
It's
is
a
a problem.
problem. It's a problem because even though this is a reality show,
Right.
that is this person's life.
Yeah.
right? And so I
Mhm.
think about myself. I'm not Mary Cosby, but like people want to see what
What
happens
happens
next.
next?
And
Yeah.
they normally want to see it in contention, in conflict, in drama. And so
Hmm.
that is why my relationship is my sanctuary. The second thing is you don't get to control what the definition of my relationship is. If I am
Mm.
inviting friend number one or friend number two into my coveted sanctuary
Come
with
on.
my partner, with or without my partner, as long as it is appropriate and consensual and confirmed with that is what we got going on, then that's
Hmm.
my business. We're
Yeah.
all adults, and I think that people often want to dictate our humanity once
Right.
we are public. And so I choose, like Fran said, I choose to have a very public, private relationship.
Hmm.
Um, we're not talking about it. We're not talking. You can see us everywhere, all the time, anywhere. You may think, you may consider, you may believe it is not your business.
And you'll never
What are
know.
you talking about? What are you
Never truly
talking
know.
about? And how dare you disrespect me, you stupid bitch? You know what I mean? Very bad.
Like, sir, this is a Wendy's. I just wanted to take your order. I just said, and what would he like? But damn, never mind. Oh man. So I guess I want to ask about, if it's public or private. How would you like, if you had to describe an ideal situation for your partner to be able to show up for you? What are the things that, like, in a relationship, what would be ideal is for my partner to provide this?
Oh, you got these again heavy hitter questions. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm telling
Attention.
y'all, I'm the mayor of Yap City. I'm here to
Yeah.
I'm here to give it up.
No,
I'm taking
I
notes.
think the answer is just intention. Like I think as I grow up, there were so many things that I could not get as a kid and like growing up. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I can get all these things. I
I
want you
have
to
free
think
will.
about, yeah, I want you to think about what I can't get for myself, right? Like, I want you to
Mm,
be so thoughtful about me. Something stupid and silly. If you hear me snoring, it's probably because I got mucus going on right here and I need my Flonase, but I'm too busy to go get it. Go get it for me and have it and have it there. That's
on the nightstand.
intention.
Hmm.
Yeah, intention. So next night I won't be snoring your ears off, my nigga. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like, give me intention. And if that comes in gifts, if that comes in care, if that comes in um and pulling me back and saying you need to take some time off, you're pushing yourself too hard. If that comes with
mm,
reprimanding me sometimes, if that comes with a sense of accountability, just intention. Be intentional about seeing me, about valuing me, about embracing all of the things that come with me. And also like all of the relationships that we intersect with. Because like, if you're with me, you are my friend. You're my fuck buddy. You're my player partner. You are my my helpmate. Like you're all those things.
mm-hmm.
And you're not always going to be able to show up as you know all of those things. But when you see I need a piece of that, be intentional about seeing it.
Mm,
I love your answer, and I'm going to add. So I'm going to take and be intentionality. Yes, I need that, and add that with time because uh, I'm sure all of us on this call we are we just busy as fuck. We're busy as hell, and if my intention right. So if I'm calling you to set up a date, or if I'm calling you to set up time, it's because I am making time for us to be right, and
Uh-huh.
I need you to be reciprocating that back to me if we are talking about building because I know I'm busy. I'm probably going to end up dating or being locked in with someone who's equally busy. I need you to be intentional about the time because we're going to look up and it's going to feel like we don't really know each other. It's going to feel like I know a shell of a
mm-hmm.
person because we haven't put enough time into building and being sharing space. And I'm not talking about just to go on dates, right? I think people get that confused. Like, I need time just to lay up on the sofa with you watching Grey's Anatomy, right? I need time to just go to the grocery store with you. Where I'm not even shopping for my groceries. You're shopping for the groceries for your apartment, right? I need that one-on-one time outside of a date, outside of a function, because I'm always at a function, or and I'm always, and dates are cute, but you're still bringing your representative. I need to see how you show up and see your intention behind the reason to why you want to be with me in this space in this romantic way. So for me, I need the intention, but I also need you to be thoughtful in crafting that time, because I've learned that people, if they do want to, they will. And
Oh yeah.
I think a
So
lot of us,
Oh yeah.
in our 20s and our early 30s, you're making time, you're making time, you're making time, and you realize you're being breadcrumbs, or realize you're being spoon fed idea of a relationship, but that person don't really want to be with you, right? That person is really want
Mm,
to. And so for me, when I start to get a sense of that, I do what I do. I pull away. I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Now I'm gonna let you make the time. You plan the date. You plan the space, because I can't keep showing up and creating time or making time for someone who does not reciprocate that back.
mm,
Scorpios, as y'all know, we big on reciprocity. We will ride with you till the wheels fall off. This is why Scorpios and Virgos get along so well. So shout out to your boo. My little sisters are Virgos, so I grew up with one, so I know. But we get up because we say we mean it, and and most folks, they who can respect showing up, saying a thing, and showing up exactly how you say you're showing up.
yeah.
There's value in that. And if you have somebody who's like that, hold tight to them, because people out here will sell you a flim flam and not have your best interest in mind. And if you find somebody who's saying, I want to show up for you in this way, and they're also physically showing up in that way for you, and not only just giving you lip service, then I hold on and lock in. So I need the intention, I need the time. I need both of those things to be.
yeah. We'll
Yeah.
sell you a
And
flim flam and be surprised when they flam get flammed. Crazy.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What about you, Bree?
All I can say is I swear I'm not trying to be the annoying lesbian that's like, oh, everything is amazing. But it's just like I think
Everything is amazing.
my literally like I think I learned with my current relationship that I am an acts of service queen. Like that's what I need.
Mm,
Because like as a person that curates space and experiences and does the things, I'm always pouring out, always.
mm,
And so like literally the thing that both of y'all have spoke about, like my girlfriend shows up in those moments where I'm not thinking of myself. I'm so my because the work is so selfless. I do forget about myself sometimes, and that's just me being real. Like I cannot lie. And so, like, I do appreciate when you went to Wegmans to get my favorite fruit tart because you was in the area, or you heard my 10-year-old say something that she needed for school, and you went and got it, and you just brought it home. We didn't have a conversation, or it's like, babe, it's okay if the DJs don't have sound. I'll come and I'll get there early and I'll set it up. They just gotta plug in. Like, it's every aspect of my being where she shows
mm,
up, and like I never thought I was worthy of that. I never thought that
mm,
that was something that was humanly possible, but my nervous system has quite literally been reset. Like I've never been so busy and also so balanced at the same time. Like
mm,
I am living and experiencing harmony. Cause like I don't know. I have a funny thing with the word balance. I don't think that's like a thing. But like harmony,
mm.
it's like it's doing this and it's doing it at a
The
pace that
emotions are
feels,
harmonious. Yeah.
yeah, like you went and got a pack of toilet paper and paper towels. Like that shit is big for me, y'all. Y'all don't understand.
Because
Cause
it comes
baby,
with thought. It
you
comes
hear
with
me?
thought.
Because
Yeah.
I
Yes.
will Instacart, DoorDash, Go Puff to death. I done saved so much money by being in a
We love it. We
Um,
love it.
no, I feel lucky. I feel blessed. I feel like wow.
But
Mm.
I just want
Like,
to piggyback off of that line you said. It regulates your nervous system, and that's for me how I know when it's real. When you're
right.
regulating my nervous
Mm.
system, and vice versa. Like
Exactly.
like
Exactly.
yeah.
Even just
We
showing
love it.
up, like I don't need her to do anything, but
Just
being
be
in
there.
the room, bruh, the presence. Come on, that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Amen. Well, I want to play a game with you guys because we have been yapping for quite some time, and it's been beautiful. I love this conversation. But I want to play a round of Smash or Pass because we do this every chat, and there's always a theme. So tonight's theme of Smash or Pass is female rappers.
Uh,
Okay.
Mm.
Okay,
I'm here
so
for it.
not too
Now
much
we
thinking. Just
Scorpios, so it's gonna be we're gonna be honest.
no, yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. So first up, and now I will give you a variation. If you wanted to be like a then versus now, then you could say like, okay, I would in '92, but I wouldn't in 2026.
okay, fair.
Hmm.
That's fair, you
That's
know.
fine.
Okay, because it'd be
I want
different.
a little
It'd be
flexibility. Thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little versatility, you
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
because they want to say I'm not versed. Anyway, the first one is the brat.
I knew you was gonna bring her ass in the chat.
I'm a smash all through and through. Like the brat, like I'm gonna tell you, like from that's what I'm looking for days to now. Like I'm gonna be honest, like I've been a
Okay,
Debrat
what do you
fan, and I
like?
feel like Debrat always found a way to live in her truth, even in a climate when it was not socially acceptable, and
Mm-hmm.
even when they sexed her up, like she was like, I'm gonna still get this hair braided up, and but I'm gonna wear this little
Okay.
bra, but I'm gonna put my hair braided, like so. I say
And
that to
there's gonna be
say
a bandana somewhere on the fit.
exactly, it's still gonna be some recognition
It's gonna be
that
something.
who team I'm playing
Y'all
for.
gonna.
So yeah, so Debrat all day. Yeah, I smashed it. Debrat is a smash for me. Like definitely still playing her in my speaker box.
Mm.
Definitely smash for me. I mean, that's it. It's a smash.
That's it. Done. I'm faster.
Yeah, it's a pass for me.
That's fair. You allowed to
Like
pass.
I don't, I it's just something of it's a little cornbally for me, and I do appreciate like regardless showing up full self, or
Right.
as much as we can, that's what it seemed like and felt like we hadn't seen it at the time. I fucking appreciate that, praise that, lovely, but
Mm.
no, thank
But
you.
it's not your flavor. It's not your flavor.
No,
It's
it's
like
not
cool,
quite my
Ray.
seasoning pack.
Okay. Up next is Missy Elliott.
Yeah, I just feel like it's giving. I'm a VA, so I'm always riding for Missy Elliott.
Okay. So are you
Like,
gonna ride Missy?
I mean, well, it's a smash. I mean, we can
Okay.
ride, we
Okay.
can moonwalk, but and again,
Did you say
so
we could
Missy
pull
came
up?
up in a problematic era, yes. I'm a very aware, during the bad boy and all of that hype. So there are some
Mm-hmm.
things that I know and some traumas that she went through, personal traumas that she went through that sort of shaped who she is and some of her experiences. However, holistically, as a person, I think that she is the definition of. I know I've always been that awkward kid that didn't fit in, and I'm going to. I saw there was that was a gifting, and I'm gonna use that awkward, not fitting in as my superpower, for lack of better words.
Mm.
So, it's a smash for me. But then again, she's from 757, so I'm sort of partial. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, I mean, I feel the same way. I feel like her art is extremely attractive.
Mm-hmm.
I find her particularly, and it has nothing to do with her weight. I just think that who she is
Big
now, like,
Missy.
yeah, like she has let a lot go in recent
Mm-hmm.
years. It seems her aura is cleaner to me, so smash for sure.
I agree.
Yeah. Bree.
I feel like there's a smash in this room, but I'm trying to figure out the timeline. Like,
Okay.
is it? I'm trying to figure out is it
It's your
is it
choice.
super duper fly or is it you're a
Is
forbidden
it?
friend? Yeah,
It could.
you know what I'm
It could
saying.
be. It could be finger wave Missy.
You know,
She
It
got a
could
lot of
be.
errors. She do got a
Yeah, I'm
lot
about
of
to say
errors.
it could be Adidas suit Missy.
I think it might
It's
have been
whatever your
when she
choice.
had the Adidas deal. I think.
Okay.
I think it was then. I think it was when it was quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Next
work
time. I
it.
think it was
Hmm.
then. I was
I'm
like,
with that.
bitch. Nothing
I
good for
if I had to choose, I'm gonna choose Finger Wave Missy. I feel like Finger Wave Missy was a minute. I
she
feel
was
like she was
something
talking you
better.
through it. I feel like I think Finger Wave Missy would be the one that I would. Also,
Fair.
I feel like I need a little body. We got to be able to tussle, and I feel like Finger Wave Missy was
She
tussling.
gonna fight.
Yeah,
She
for
gonna
sure.
fight.
All right, up next, Lil Kim.
You want to
Not
talk about
everybody collectively exhale.
okay, because we know now. I'm so sorry that what has happened to that queen. But if you
hmm
Yes.
want to talk about finger wave baddie, Kim,
hmm
and I don't even like I'm not even a femme girly, but baby, yeah. Hmm.
Little Kim,
Kimberly
I'm
Bryant.
with you. Like for me, I feel like the epicenter of the Queen. Like she took what Salt and Pepper did and what Queen Latifah did, all the people that came before her, and then mixed it together and then shook it up and sort of made her own concoction, right?
It
With
was
a
a
little bit of
bomb.
hmm
It was
everything.
like
Yeah.
Right, because I'm like, Salt and Pepper has sexed it up and took it there, right? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna be that, but I'm gonna also come off like Queen Latifah, and I'm gonna like,
Yeah.
these lyrics gonna cut, right? And I'm checking a nigga, right? So I say that to say, ooh, I love all the eras of Kim, although this current era, I'm just saddened by because I think she, in the mix of the sauce, in the midst of everything, sort of lost her sauce a little bit, trying to look like the generation behind her and keep up with the generation behind her when she didn't need to. She
she
was
was a
already
bad bitch.
she was already that, to the point
Ugh.
where you have a whole duplicate, like a whole industry of copycats. Literally, we all know who that's what they built the blueprint off of, right? Like every single MC that's in the game, from Flo Milli to Lotto, is Little Kim Candy Coated. So you can't get away from that. So I say all that to say, like, Kim, like the original, like always gonna be a smash, and I'm gonna just pray for her. I mean, she's a mom now. I'm sure this isn't at the top of her list, but I just need her to stop messing with herself. Like I just need you to
Ugh.
just lean into it, love on yourself, boo. You got it.
Yeah.
mm
Smash at no stop at no matter what they say. I
Okay.
love her though.
Fair.
Notorious
Right.
I
K.I.
love her.
man.
Yeah,
Anything
I
after
love
La Bella Mafia, not
Is all
smash.
right.
yeah.
That's fair.
Fair.
That's a
I
fair
love her
comment.
down. She
Yeah,
will
very true.
always be the blueprint, but
That's a
Smash
fair
stopped
comment.
after. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Foxy Brown.
Smash.
Still love her. I mean,
Smash.
she was a
Yeah.
Even
chocolate
with the one
Brooklyn mess.
ear, with the one,
Right. I'm
yeah.
like
Even
Foxy
with the
always.
one ear. Not calling her Picasso though. That's crazy.
And she still look
No,
good.
Van
And she
Gogh,
still
Van
look
Gogh, Van
Yeah.
Gogh.
good.
Baby, Foxy,
Mm-mm.
yeah. I love a like a hood bitch that's like, like
Right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right, Tierra
same,
Whack.
same.
Oh, TT, not your boy North Philly in the room. I love
Yeah,
her,
I had
but
to. I had
it's
to.
a pass for me because she too quirky. But I love the quirky, but not for me like in an intimate space.
Yeah. She's not like the other girls. She's different.
She's sweet.
Mm.
She's sweet.
But are you smashing or passing?
It was enough.
She's sweet.
She's
Sweet equals pass.
Hold on,
right.
who is this? I missed the name. Who's this?
Tierra Whack.
Sierra West.
Oh, Tierra Whack. Yeah. No, love her creatively, love her down
Yeah.
creatively. Her
Beautiful
mind is
gowns,
everything, but
very nice
I'm a
gowns.
pass. Yeah,
Fly
we
gal,
would
but
be
the new
best
line
friends.
is she ain't got no sex appeal.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We would be best friends, but
Yes, besties.
yeah, yeah.
I don't even know about that.
I literally have
What
a
about
shirt that says Tierra Whack adopted me, and
Ooh,
it's
okay.
like, yeah, homegirl.
Yeah, for sure. Rico Nasty.
I like Rico. I'm gonna be honest. She's weird in the right measure, but I also don't follow all her music. So I feel like I like her as how I see her show up on hip hop artists' tracks, if that makes sense.
hmm
Like I love
hmm
her when I see her on a Megan Thee Stallion track. I love her when I see her on a Flo Milli or a Lotto track. Her by herself is a man. I'm gonna say it's a pass, but
Okay.
her as the as a second in command. Like I love down. My first I think encounter with her was with Doja Cat when she was on that Doja Cat track. That was my first
Oh,
engagement
Tia
with her.
Tamara.
Yeah, the T and
My
Tamara track.
bad.
I was like, who is this chick? Like she's going in, and then from there I sort of like grew a affinity for her. But it's still a
hmm
pass.
It's still a pass.
Okay.
So we are currently in negotiations for talent. It is not her, by the way,
Fair.
but we are currently in negotiation for talent, and we are attempting to find queer or queer adjacent um, talent that is women to headline, right? So I have to be careful in
Fair.
how I frame this.
And I feel like, are you giving like summer? Are you giving like Q2, Q3? When is
Yes,
your
June 27th.
okay? Period. I'm right around you, baby. I'm on June
Yeah.
19th. I'm like,
Uh, yeah. So, so what I will say is that, um, in general, I don't smash number two.
that's fair
I
as fuck.
tracks. That tracks.
That's
I'm
the
proud of
realest
that.
shit I might have
Yeah.
heard this evening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Last one.
Oh,
Queen Latifah.
Smash.
absolutely yes. Fuck yeah.
I mean, Jersey's finest. Just let's be
But I
clear.
need the
Yeah.
I need the slick back ponytail. Yeah, but hell yeah.
Okay.
Like
Actually, I would have took the living single. Actually, yeah. Either way, anytime, anyway.
all the errors, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be honest, all the errors, because I feel like she can, be soft with me and also be rough, and I kind of can go either way. I like it both. I like the duality of it all. So
Yeah.
Queen Latifah, yes, Queen Latifah, top of my list.
Okay. That should
Oh,
move us to number one.
will she top you? That's the question.
Now, I'm not really into that,
Right,
so I
right,
wouldn't
right.
be looking for that.
Right,
But
right.
so I say all that to say I still would like it rough, but not that rough.
Right, right.
But Queen Latifah gives like boom in the room. It don't matter what you want
Yeah,
her to do. It's going to be done in a way that's exclusive to Queen Latifah.
and the
Yeah.
Scorpio in me kind of likes that, despite what I just said.
Yeah,
But
like okay.
Yeah. Like she seemed like the type that'll just say a thing and you'll be like, what?
Like
Like she'll be
yeah,
like she'll just come in the room like, take your socks off. What do you
okay.
mean? Like,
I
right.
said,
But
okay, then.
you know it's
Yes,
about to
Dana.
be something. You know what I'm saying? You know it's about to be an event.
Like everybody can't tell me what to do, but okay.
Right.
That,
Right.
that.
Exactly. Ian, you say you smashing Queen Latifah?
Oh no, you didn't see me do all of this.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cause
yes, the rodeo.
what Jill
I
Scott
live.
said. Jill Scott said, if you could tell me what to do, you could tell
You
me
You
can
what
tell
to
tell
me
me
do.
what
what
to
to
But
do.
you
do.
can't
Queen
Okay,
tell
but
me
you
what
Latifah
to
can't.
can tell
do.
all of us what to do. I'm
You
gonna just check.
can't tell me.
All right. So this is the last segment of tonight's session. It's called high vibe or low vibe. So I'm gonna just like throw out a sentence characteristic of a person, and you tell me if that's high vibrational or low vibrational. And this is just your opinion. This is a safe space. You can feel however you want to feel. Nobody's here to judge. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is someone who name drops, but it's unintentional. Is that high vibe or low vibe?
Low vibe.
I'm like, is it unintentional if you name drop? I feel like that's
Yeah, I still find it to be low vibe because it's like it's somewhere close near low vibe because like why, like just say my friend,
Why'd
just
you
say my
even need to
client.
tell me
that was on purpose by accident. I ain't trying to hear that shit.
That's fair. Ian, you saying it's low vibe?
Low vibe for sure.
Okay, okay. Someone who's always outside, but they're always alone.
I think that's high vibrational.
Okay.
I think that it takes a lot to go outside by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How
Agreed.
how long is always? Because if you always you done
Like
met
every
somebody
time
along the
you
way,
in the
friend.
kitchen, they in the kitchen.
I
What?
don't know. I feel like it's a 50-50. Only because so there's two sides of that coin. You could be outside alone because you are not a likable person, and the people,
Right.
right? But you could also be outside and alone because, like, like my homie said earlier, like you don't need an entourage. Like Queen Latifah seems like the type that will be outside alone. Like she don't need an
Hmm.
entourage,
I
right?
don't know.
But
I don't know if she by her. She seemed like somebody. If she by herself, somebody's gonna be watching.
No, she with her wife, and it's just we don't gotta do too much.
yeah,
It's what we
that's
talked
so
about
true.
earlier. She be
Yeah.
with that queen. That queen be by her side.
Mm.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a just plead the fifth on that because I'm like have
I
her.
Okay.
It gets in the middle. It's in the middle for me.
so this is my thing, and this is where I have unintentionally dated folks who have been like always alone or like they're so
Mysterious.
mysterious. And like honestly, that shit has worked against me every motherfucking time. And so and I've found out like and not even just who I've dated, but also like folks who I've like been like, oh, we're gonna be friends. Or I've even, I've even leaned into the friendship of it all. And I'm like, ew.
Yeah.
Yuck. Actually, bitch, this is why your ass was alone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is why your
Exactly.
ass was alone.
And the
Mm.
Scorpios
So
and us be drawn to those loner types. Like that's the other thing. We like a mysterious, like in the shadows kind of creeper. But then
Hmm.
we get to know him, and we like, oh, there's a reason why you like this. This
There's
ain't
a
just this ain't
reason.
yeah.
just
Yeah.
edgy. Yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
Yeah, that shit can get. I didn't say yes or no. I was like this. I don't know if you see me when you asked me that in the middle. Because
Right.
sometimes it's fine, but most of the time it ain't.
Word. So the next one is they never RSVP, but they always show up. So you're saying how vibe, Bree?
I'm gonna say high vibe because sometimes, hold up, they never RSVP, but they show up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna still
It
charge you at the
depends.
door. I'm gonna still catch your ass.
Yeah.
Okay. Big on that.
You gotta get taxed because you didn't use the comp code when I gave it to
And
you
honestly,
earlier.
Okay.
you missed the comp because if you paying attention to my rollout, if you on my email list, you always free. Automatic
Right.
on tier 1 is always free.
Okay.
Tier 2 is real low, and then at the door now I'm taxed the bitch because you played.
But I
Directly in my
appreciate
face.
you showing up.
But
Right.
thank you
But I
for
like
being
to throw it out.
here. That's me. Thank you for
What do
being
you say?
here.
Right. Thank you for always being here, even though you never
Do it.
RSVP.
Bitch, I need this data for these funders.
Yes. And that's what I'm thinking about.
That's
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 why.
that's my whole lot in the sand. I need the numbers, baby, because
I'm
it's
a
time
catch,
to
and
Yeah.
that's
crunch.
why I'm a catch. Not me. They gonna catch you at that door.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that.
So you saying it's high vibe in or low vibe?
No, I think it's low vibe, bitch. I run a nonprofit. I run a nonprofit.
Bitch.
I need this information.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
And all I'm gonna do is swipe that card when you get to the door. I'm not gonna get that name. I'm not gonna get that age.
Right.
I'm not gonna get that date of birth. You won't count, son of a bitch.
Okay.
That's low.
Messing up the flow. I think that's low vibe, bitch. All
Shit.
right, Daryl. Low high vibe or low vibe?
I'm going to say it's high vibe for me because you didn't RSVP, right? But you showed up, and to both of my friends' points, like I'm gonna tax you at the door. I'm gonna get that money. But when you leave, best believe you better be doing that survey at my front desk on the way
Okay.
out because I need you.
Please
I
scan the
need that
QR
information,
code.
and you played in my face with the
Right.
RSVP.
They be mad at me because my at the door, you actually wasting both of our time because you are actually going through the process of still registering and paying at the
Yep.
door. So
And now you hold up the line. But
That goes
again,
in
thank you for
now
coming.
you're embarrassed.
Right. Because we thought you was going to slide. Ain't no sliding over here. All right. The last one, they only go out when they're out of town.
Oh,
Is
don't
that
call
high
me low
vibe or
vibration.
low vibe?
Don't call me low vibrational because that's my life. Okay.
Friend,
But I'm about to say, you live on a plane.
Yeah.
So that's a little different. But I mean, do you
they
choose to
only
not
go
go out
out.
when you're at home though?
So so I think that it's so weird. And y'all are from the East Coast, so I don't know how y'all feel about this, but the South has, since COVID, the South feels like Houston is the party city. I don't know
Mm.
where the hell that came from. I love my city. I have never considered it a destination city in my entire life.
I
It's a
came
part
there
of
for
where I
my
live from.
35th in October. I'm embarrassed now. Yes, I had a ball.
Yes, of
Right.
course you
All 12
did.
of us.
Of course
Listen,
you did.
love it
Of
there.
course you
Love it
did.
there.
Next time, hit me up. I got an Airbnb. But
Now I
anyway,
do. Now I
And
will.
he do. And he do,
And
and
I
it's
I'm
quite
will.
right with
nice.
it. I'm
And I
like,
will.
It's
yeah.
quite nice.
So,
same.
I have stayed there. It's
so,
lovely.
so, so listen. So it's tough because when people come to Houston, it is the turn up. And it's how I feel when I go to like in Atlanta or in New York or something like that. It's just so weird because I'm just like, baby, like it's 6 in the morning. What are we doing? Like, I'm going,
Right.
I'm on this call right now thinking of, bitch, I gotta go find food or am I gonna go to sleep? Because that's my life. Um,
Mm.
so, I think I'm pretty high vibrational, but if it comes down to,
Fair. Fair.
I
That's
might
fair.
be, I might be low energy, but I'm high vibrational.
Okay, come on. That's
Okay.
good.
That's a
Okay.
word.
I like
That's a
that.
word.
Hmm. Okay, Daryl, how do you feel about it? High vibe or low vibe?
I mean, I think it's a high vibe because you're at home. So if we at home and you always at home, that's because you're at home with me. So I get it. So yeah, when we outside and we traveling, of course I never been to this place. You been to this place? Well, we outside tonight, baby. So it's like we gonna see what it is. Like so,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm with that. Like when we at home, be at home. But when we outside in another state, you know, jet setting, let's step outside and see what the locals do.
Okay.
Hmm.
You said
Okay, Bree.
they only outside if
They
they.
only outside if they're out of town. That's it. You're
I
not
don't
seeing them
like
locally.
that. Y'all, I only don't like that because I feel like we can make the best of what we got going on and we getting on a motherfucking plane. Like, it's both
Both.
of them to me.
It's a yes and.
It's yes
It's
and
a yes
both
and for me.
or
It's both.
yes. I feel you.
Okay.
I feel the same way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, don't get
Listen.
me wrong. I did have that spirit upon me at one time.
A
So I would
pun.
only, yes, it was upon me at one time. So I would only ever go out, like used to do this thing where I would take like what I call like hocation, where I would like, if I had a weekend and I wasn't doing anything, I would hop in a rental, drive down to Philly or some shit and give me an Airbnb and act a fool.
I love that.
Yeah. I used to, especially in my like early 20s, I used to get to it. Anytime I had a little extra change, I was gone. Now, not so much, I'm returning to my virtuous state. But
But
before, I used to get to it.
so this is the thing. I had a partner before, and we had an apartment like in a more like residential, kind of like trendy couple like area.
Hmm.
And I had left my house, which is in like it's in Houston, but it feels like a suburb or urban area of Houston, right? So me and him broke up. I left him the apartment. I went back to my house. I was in my house for like 2 years, and I'm like, man, I want to be in the city. So then I went to now I stay in like the museum district, which is like downtown, and
Prop.
I'm on yeah, like I'm looking at all of the skylines and I have everything in this complex. It's a loft, it gives all the things. I'm like, baby, you can drink, eat, and give me head all in the same place. Why we gotta
In the
go?
same place.
Like, and we can look at the sky, we can look at everybody else right
And
there.
DoorDash is on its way. Yes. Have it all. Luxury. Yes. Mm-mm.
That's
I
so
love that for
ignorant.
you.
So
Well,
ignorant.
this concludes our conversation this evening. I want to specifically thank each and every one of you so much for taking this time this evening. You could have been doing anything, you could have been anywhere else, but you were here with me, and I'm so grateful for that. So if you would like to, let the people know where they can find you, what you have going on, any last minute plugs, what's going on, what's coming up, let the people know.
Sure, I'll jump in first. So, for those who don't know, my 9 to 5, because I don't think I listed it by name, but I am at the Newark Museum of Art, based right here in Newark. The manager of community engagement, and we have a
Come on.
huge Art After Dark happening. Basically, that's when we turn the museum into a club. Happening March 19th. We're celebrating women, and celebrating women. We're doing a whole fashion series. So this is our
Ooh.
annual fashion one that we do every year. One year we had our my homie Rich pull up and do some fashion stuff at one of our Art After Darks. But yeah, it's going to be an amazing experience. You can buy your tickets now if you go to my link tree or the museum's link tree in our bios on our Instagrams. I'm pretty much Darryl Dwayne on everything. You can also find me on the web series Talks with Myself at Omi Pro TV. We are currently in season 6. Catch
Come on
up,
now.
stream. Yeah,
And you had a
we've been doing
premiere
it
in
for a
DC
minute.
recently, right?
Say it again.
You guys premiered the latest season in DC, correct?
Correct. We were in DC about 2 to 3 weeks ago. We did a premiere at Howard University. So shout out to my HBCUs. Also shout out to Norfolk State and Hampton University, which is my alma maters. But with that being said, yes, Talks to Myself series. We are doing a current city tour or statewide tour. So we're in DC. We're planning to go back to DC a little later. Chicago is on the docket. I also believe we're trying to get in LA.
Mm.
Maybe we can get Texas in now that I now somebody in Houston. So that would be really, really dope. And of course, we are going to do another screening in New York and New Jersey, which is where we're based at. We're literally right across the water from New York, about 15-minute train ride outside of NYC. So if you're ever in the NYC area and you want to pull up to my museum or pull up to
I'm, I'm there.
from
I'm there in March.
oh,
Uh-huh.
tap me, especially if you're here during the weekend of the 19th or the week of the 19th. Like, let
Okay.
me
Okay.
know. I got you. I'll make sure we hook you up. But yeah,
Okay.
that's my current projects. And like I said, Darryl Dwayne on everything. Passing it on.
Go ahead, beautiful.
Okay. First of all, Daryl, one of my besties from college live in Newark. So yeah, and she's a creative, and she's actually working at a museum in Brooklyn right now. And my
Okay.
background, not my background, but my previous role before I was like, you know what, I'm doing this entrepreneurship full time. I was community engagement manager, public engagement manager at Baltimore Museum of Industry. And I came in and turned a program in a whole 180. I was
Okay.
like, none of this is representative of Baltimore. Baltimore is 70% black damn near. Please stop playing. So I had to bring all my home girls, my home boys, my everybody in
Okay.
there. We had got paid and we had showed that museum. Come on. Come
You
on.
know the vibe. You know the
So
vibe.
yeah, I say that to say I'm definitely going to double triple check my calendar because if March 19th is open, my girlfriend and I will be on 95. It ain't nothing but a thing. Um but yeah, with that said, March 8th, if you in Baltimore, my not myself, but my business Black Ass Flea Market and the Stylish Bartender is doing a cocktail making class focusing on black recipes, historically black recipe
Come
cocktails.
on now. Because we're losing the recipe.
We're
We're
losing the
losing the
recipe.
We're
recipes.
And
losing the
it's not
recipe.
just in the pies and cakes, y'all. Listen to cocktails too. Niggas don't know that the whiskey sour was invented by a Negro. Okay. So yeah, we'll be focusing on black recipes on March 8th. The tickets are in my bio, Black Ass Flea Market's bio right now. March shit, I'm like, what's the dates? March 13th, we are having Black Ass Karaoke for the girls. Dress up as your favorite female artist. Black
Ooh.
is black. Um, all are welcome, but you must dress
A
as
room
a
full of queens of
black, your
people.
favorite
I love
black
it.
female artist, and come and perform your song
Okay.
at Lexington Market in the Baltimore room. Little cute
Ooh,
Friday
okay.
night vibe. What else we got going? And then I guess I'll shout out our day party series called The Juke, which is paying homage to juke joint culture. That's where we dance our pain away. That's where we network. That's where we find our next gig. That's where we sweat out our edges, shake a little ass, do all the things. And we shop black in that space. That's happening on April 19th. That's our do-rag party. And I want to see the black folks pull up in some custom do-rag shit, in some creative do-rag shit. Like do it a little different. You know what I'm
A little
saying?
one too.
That's April 19th. So, just hit the bio for all the things. And yeah, y'all, I'm about to follow y'all asses on everything. And I'm about to pull up to what I can pull up to. And
Okay.
come on, because Newark up the street, Houston ain't but a word, baby. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Rich, for connecting me to my new Scorpio cousins.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So I'm excited. We got some events and stuff, but the main thing I'm excited about is we are almost under contract with the expansion of our entrepreneurship program.
Oh, okay.
Um, and so I'm really excited. So we've been doing this Black LGBT entrepreneurship program for 4 years in Houston. We've launched 59 businesses
Come on now.
and infused millions of dollars into our local economy and created resources specifically for Black and LGBT communities in Houston.
Mm,
And we have gotten picked up through that program. And so we will be in three black ass cities, different
yeah.
types of black, but three black ass cities in the South. So Montgomery,
My friend,
Alabama.
my friend Brandy moved from Baltimore to Houston and was in that program.
Yes, yes, yes,
Hmm.
yes, yes. So we will be doing it in Montgomery, Alabama,
Come on
in
now.
South Florida, and in Dallas, Texas. So those will
Hey,
be our first three pilots, and we'll see how that goes. And we'll be in contact with y'all. I know y'all got the peoples. Um, and then June 27th, in celebration of Stonewall National HIV Testing Day. We have renamed our Black Queer AF Music Festival to Black Like That Community Festival. It's going to be sickening, about 1,500 Black and queer people, vendors, food, drinks, performances. Last year we had JT and Ken the Man headline. The year before that, it was Latoya Luckett. The year before that, it was Jesus. It's been a lot of years. Kiki Wyatt and Kid Ken. Before that, it was Duran Bernard. So on and so forth. So looking forward to announcing our headliners and the rest of the people that'll be on stage. We just announced today the venue. It is downtown. It's going to be right around the FIFA situation here in Houston. It's on the same weekends as that. It's going to be
ooh,
absolutely festive. Pre-sales are out right now. Get them now. It includes VIP includes 2 hour happy hour, open bar, no shade. So listen, if you are in Houston or want to come to Houston, it's a great reason to come, and you probably want to plan now. And what else we got going on? Um, I think that's it. I think that's it. We got some stuff, but those are the important things: the entrepreneurship program and Black Like That Community Festival. You can find that at the Normal Anomaly or normalanomaly.org. You probably will not find it on my Instagram. You'll just find me doing this online.
which is also very important. Very important.
Yes, it is.
Well, thank you all for being here for the finale of the love sessions. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and good night.
Good
Good
night.
night. This was
Love
great.
Good
y'all.
night.